As I close in on 100,000 subscribers and almost 1 million views on this channel about entrepreneurship, the most asked question I get isn't about business, marketing, scaling, or building companies. It's this: what have you done to keep your hair? And listen, I totally get it, because losing your hair, especially in your 20s, and for people who pride themselves as entrepreneurs, can feel like something that is uncontrollable. But here's the thing I've learned from decades in the trenches of building businesses. If enough of your customers or audience ask the same question, you listen and then provide a solution. So, this video is my answer, and I want you to know there are things you can start doing right away, as in today. The moment it hit me, I was 23 years old, standing in one of those department store mirrors. You know, the kind that hits you from 3 angles and has the bright overhead lights? And what I saw stopped me cold. As I looked to the one mirror that shows your profile, for the first time ever, I could see through my hair, as in right straight to my scalp. I started to panic, because it wasn't a maybe anymore, and it wasn't something that might happen to me one day. This was happening now. My hair had been getting thin for a couple of years. I'd noticed more of it on my comb and the pillow when I'd wake up. But this moment, it was like seeing the preview of a future I wasn't ready for. So I decided right then and there, I'm going to do something about this. I was working at a restaurant near an office park where one of the buildings had a sign that said something about hair restoration. So one day before work, I went in. This friendly middle-aged woman greeted me and asked what brought me in. I told her I was worried about losing my hair, and then she looked up at the top of my head. She said, "We do surgical procedures here, and you are not a candidate for surgery." I remember feeling instantly let down, but then she did something I've never forgotten. She walked me over to this picture on the wall that showed a row of tiny seedlings sprouting from the dirt, and she said something along these lines: "Think of every hair follicle on your head like these seedlings. They're delicate, they need care, and if they're ripped out or neglected, they won't come back or they won't grow into their full potential." Now, I wasn't sure where she was going, but I soon learned exactly what the metaphor was all about, and it changed everything. She then walked over to the counter and grabbed a pen and a pack of blue sticky notes. She said she was going to tell me some things that I could start doing right away, and that these would help reverse my hair loss, and I'd start seeing a difference within a few months. By the way, I kept her sticky note in my day planner for years afterward, and I remember looking at it many times. And for those of you under 30, you can ask ChatGPT what a day planner is. So here's the gist of what she wrote down and then told me. Number 1, your hair is a seedling. Be gentle. When you take a shower, use lukewarm water, not hot, and don't use a forceful or high-pressure spray nozzle. Just like you wouldn't take a full-blast garden hose to the row of new seedlings, use care when water touches your hair. Apply your shampoo softly and only use enough force to move around the shampoo with the tips of your fingers. Don't scrub the hair follicles aggressively or pull them in any way. Leave the shampoo in your hair for at least 2 minutes before rinsing it. And when you rinse, make sure all of the shampoo is gone. When drying your hair, don't put a towel on your head and rub it forcefully like most people do. Gently lay the towel on your head and sort of blot dry it. And don't comb wet hair. Let it partially dry, and always use a paddle brush with soft bristles that stimulates the scalp. Which reminds me, there are links in the description of the exact products I talk about in this video if you want to jump on Amazon and order them. And if you use a blow dryer, keep the fan and heat on low. The bottom line is this: don't stress the scalp. Baby those follicles exactly like you would the seedlings in a garden. Number 2, Nioxin shampoo. She recommended a shampoo I'd never heard of, Nioxin. She said it costs more, but people swear by it. It promotes circulation to the follicle, removes buildup, and contains peptides and nutrients that help your hair stay strong and will make it look thicker. And I'll have to say she was right. because decades later, I still use Nioxin and it's made a big difference. Amazon.com will many times run specials, and in my experience, they have the freshest product. Number 3, supplements. 2 daily supplements she wrote down were Sol Palmetto, which blocks DHT, a hormone tied to hair loss and reduces scalp inflammation, and biotin, which is a vitamin that helps with growth, thickness, and follicle health. Both of these are inexpensive, easy to find in almost any grocery store, and backed by both scientific research and anecdotal success. Now, they won't regrow bald spots, but they can strengthen and improve what you still have. Number 4, change your pillowcase. This one surprised me. She told me a lot of hair breakage and fallout happens in your sleep. The cotton pillowcases that most people use absorb moisture and create friction. Silk pillowcases are much better. They help your hair retain oils, stay hydrated, and avoid breakage. Plus, as a bonus, silk is better for your skin too. It keeps your skin softer and helps with wrinkles. The exact pillowcases she recommended, and that I still use today, are from a special kind of silk that is linked in the description, and it won't break the bank. They cost like $14. Number 5, stress and diet. At 23, I was sleep deprived, hyper stressed, and living off fast and processed foods. She explained that chronic stress and poor nutrition can speed up hair loss dramatically. See, hair is made of protein, and much of the hair rejuvenation happens during deep sleep. Too much sugar, dehydration, cortisol, or inflammation can all affect your hair quality. So, drink more water, eat clean, prioritize sleep, and do everything you can to manage your stress levels. It's not glamorous, but it all matters. And not just for your hair. Managing your stress and diet will make you look better overall. Number 6, hormones. The last thing she told me was have a doctor check your thyroid levels. Low thyroid function can affect hair loss, and it's more common than most people think. It's a simple blood test, but don't skip this step or put it off until you're older. It's easy and the medication doesn't cost that much. The lady then handed me the sticky note and said something else I still remember. It was great. She never sold me a thing. She didn't push a product or try to schedule an appointment. She just gave me some solid advice and said if you follow these things, you might never need our services. Well, that was over 30 years ago, and today I still have all the hair that I did in my 20s. So, I want to pay it forward, exactly like the lady at the clinic did for me, and you can start doing these things right away. Here's the cost breakdown. Brush, $6. Silk pillowcase, $14. Supplements, $13 per month, and shampoo, $22 per month. The behavioral changes like diet, sleep, and reducing stress, well, those are priceless. Now, here's my disclaimer. Genetics play a huge role in hair loss. I get that, and sometimes that's the issue. What I've talked about won't stop every case of hair loss, but it won't hurt you. And for some people, like it did me, it might be exactly what you need to hear. If this video helped, the best thing you can do is give it a thumbs up. And if there's someone who could benefit from it, please pass it along. I'd recommend you watch this one next. How to make people immediately like you.